I'm glad to report that we have good news to report from here, the Industrial Canal. We were able to successfully stop the flow of sewage from the broken sewer transmission main here at the Industrial Canal. We did that at about noon today. And as you remember, the original breakage took place on April 17th. From then to now, we had to custom make a piece of equipment that would fit as a line stop or a plug. We had to put it on the west side and on the east side. On the west side, we were successful in putting that in on Saturday. Unfortunately, on the east side, we had some issues with the hydraulics in the pipe going to the plant. And because of hydraulic issues, possibly air bubble issues, we had some flow that was still coming from that direction. And so we decided to make so that the equipment was safe and so that our employees were safe, we held off until today. Today, we're able to put in a steel piece of metal that blocked the flow, and then we're able to put in the line stops behind me. So again, the flow stopped at noon today, and I want to say thank you, one, to the public for their patience, but also two, thank you to our engineers for thinking outside the box and thinking of ways to allow us to stop this flow of sewage. Any other questions?
Dr. Neiman, you said last Friday about 12 million gallons of sewage had gone into the water in the time that break initially happened. Can you estimate now how much had spilled into the Industrial Canal now that it's stopped?
Yes, at this point, it looks like it was between 40 to 50 million gallons. There was an increase once we put in the backflow on the west side, the line stop, I should say. There was an increase that was coming out. And so that went from 4 million gallons per day to 8 million gallons per day, we think, for the last 2 or 3 days. And as a result, we think in total is probably 40 to 50 million gallons.
We know that LDEQ was also taking samples of the water. Have you gotten those results back, and what are they showing now?
The last results I've seen, I think, came from earlier in the week. And I'm glad to say that the numbers were dissipating as you got further from the location. And so we're going to continue to work and take regular testing of the site under the direction of the Environmental Quality Group and the Health Division.
Was there anything concerning in the closest samples where that spill was?
I'll let our General Superintendent, Caitlin Kemerick, talk on that.
Look, y'all ain't paying me. I'm just kidding. Oh, you know, let us go.
Thank you all. All right, so last week we did collect samples from 3 locations in the Industrial Canal, one right here at the location of the sewer force main break. Well, there was still sewer coming out into the canal, so as you would expect, there would be high levels of fecal coliform, which is what we collected the sample for. So we had high levels of fecal coliform here. We also collected a sample near the Industrial Canal lock, or the Inner Harbor Navigation Canal lock, as well as closer to the high-rise location. And as Randy mentioned, the concentrations of the fecal coliform did decrease by about an order of magnitude in between those locations. But that was just the beginning. We will be starting to collect samples twice a week going forward, starting today at additional sample locations, so we can understand the extent of any issues at this time.
Do we know how long it's going to be until the water's safe to fish out of, get into, things like that?
Yeah, that's the purpose of collecting these samples, so that we have that data to back that up, and we can be partnering and working with the Pontchartrain Conservancy. They collect samples at the Lake Pontchartrain as well for recreational purposes. So that's the purpose of increasing our sampling at this time.
But is there any estimate at this time on how long?
We need to collect those samples in order to make that determination.
So it'll be closed to this area for recreation until that time?
That's correct.
Are there other areas that are currently closed off?
Just this canal area for recreation and fishing out of abundance of caution. And again, we will continue to evaluate that as additional data becomes available.
As for the pipe itself, like you said, the flow is stopped. Repairs are obviously still going on. How much longer until the pipe is fully repaired?
Yeah, so now that the flow is stopped, we're actually able to get the dive teams into the water and really be able to get a much better picture of the extent of the damage. With the flow still coming out of the pipe, that was a challenge to be able to get in there and see what was going on. Now that that has stopped, they'll be able to make a much better assessment of the extent of the damage, and then we'll be working together to work on a repair plan. So we'll be working on that over the next couple of days.
So this is just a temporary fix right now.
Yes, what we did is we stopped the flow of sewer coming into the canal, and that was the first priority that we had from a public health perspective, and now we'll be working on the repair. Not at this time. We're still working with the Coast Guard and other authorities on that matter. Yeah, we'll be looking at the details of the situation and looking at anything that we can do as part of this repair.
As far as paying for the repairs, we're still okay on that front?
Again, that'll be part of the larger, broader strategy, working with the different agencies and organizations. Yeah, I think there's a couple different options we're looking at. Welding underwater, of course, is likely to be a part of that. Replacing a section of the pipe as needed is also likely to be an option. So again, putting that together, but likely replacing and a combination of replacing and welding.
We saw some blocked roads right over there. Is the bridge for some reason closed because of these repairs going on, or is that just something different?
No, that actually is related to this work. So the locations where the road is blocked and there's the construction equipment and the excavations, that is where we installed that specialty equipment called the line stops. So the first one was installed on Saturday, the second one was installed this afternoon, and unfortunately we've had to close the road in order to accommodate that, and we appreciate the public's patience during this time.
Is the bridge closed as well?
The bridge is closed to traffic at this time.
How long estimated do you think that's going to be?
It will likely be several more weeks while we're working together on the repair plan. To my knowledge, it's been primarily very localized here. Yep. That is actually one of our major drainage pump stations, is right on the other side of the canal. Yep. Well, no, the sewer line goes under the road here in this area, but it does not connect to that drainage pump station. Yep. Yep.
And just to clarify, you said west and east. Do you mean like the west side of the canal, west and east? What did you mean?
Yeah, when I say west side, I mean this side of the Industrial Canal, and that was a nomenclature that I came up with for some quick conversation in this matter. Yeah.
Do you want to kind of explain to how this is a very much different situation than most other water main breaks that we've been seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to go ahead?
The other,
Tilt this on up like that.
Yeah, I guess that works.
Sorry, tilt this up.
the other main breaks dealt with a pipe and infrastructure that was older and deteriorated and broke. Okay, this is a situation where a vessel came by and made contact with the pipe and broke the pipe. As our General Superintendent said, we will be looking at all responsible parties to step up and to pay for the damage that was done. And we will work with all of the government agencies, the health department, environmental quality, to make sure that we're doing the right sampling and also make sure that we address the situation and make it back to the way that it was.
We're good. All right, we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Take your time.
Can we get pictures?
Yeah.
You guys get
Don't fall in.
clear way.